Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Joy of Sticks. Stickhead here with your Atari ST gaming channel, and today we're playing a bit of Arkanoid 2. Now I just played Joust actually, and when I was playing that game I said I should make a video summing up the best Atari ST arcade conversions, and this is another really good arcade conversion. So the original arcade of Arkanoid 1 was way back in 1986, and basically the idea was to steal Atari's Breakout but make it better. So they added better graphics and enemies and pickups and power-ups and that kind of thing. It might have been bosses. Were there bosses on that game? I can't even remember. But yeah, anyway, the following year they released this one, Arkanoid Revenge of Doe. Where, I don't know, there's some kind of storyline to this. It's Breakout. Do you need a storyline for Breakout? I don't know. But anyway, there's some kind of big nasty, and he's back, and you've got to kill him again. And it's more of the same, but better. They've added even more enemies, more brick types, more power-ups, things like that. And then the following year, we got our version of this on the ST, and this was one of the really early games I played on an Atari ST, and it really sticks in my mind because of the mouse control. Obviously I'd come from having an Acorn Electron and then an Amstrad. I'd never had a mouse, so that Christmas morning when I first got my own Atari ST, one of the most exciting things was this interacting even just with the desktop using the mouse. It was really exciting, and then to realise actually there are games that use the mouse too was doubly exciting. So yeah, really this game sticks vividly in my mind as being a great game, playing it with the mouse. I think Hard Driving was the other one, but it's so terrible and hard to control that it didn't last long, whereas this, although it was difficult for me, especially being a mouse newbie, it was really difficult. I could see that it was my own imprecision that was causing the problems. But yeah, anyway, let's crack on. So the ST version came out in 1988, released by Imagine, you can see there. And as far as I'm aware, published by Ocean, though it doesn't say Ocean anywhere there, which is interesting. And it's by one of those Atari ST polymaths, Peter Johnson. Whenever he did a game, he seemed to do absolutely everything in the game. Graphics, sound, animation, coding, the whole shebang. He's responsible for RoboCop and Whizball. So some really good early games on the ST. Should we have a crack? Let's get going, shall we? Now, I think there's something weird about this game actually, whereas if you hold a mouse button while it's loading, it gives you an advert for RoboCop or something like that. I've heard, anyway. I couldn't get it to work, but maybe this is a cracked version, so that may be the case. Yeah, so far, so Breakout, right? So I'm using the mouse to control the paddle, but of course this has a story, so it's a spaceship. Now Arkanoid, I think I'm right in saying, is supposed to be the mothership that you belonged to, which was destroyed by Doe. I don't know, I can't perhaps we should have read the opening introduction. But anyway, Doe's back and we're going to give him a kick in. So you may have seen there that these little pills are dropping down. I picked up a blue one, which made my spaceship bigger. Oh, this is my favourite pickup, I love this one. The pink one turns your... I was trying not to pick up the other pickup. I wanted to keep the pink one because you decimate the bricks with that pink, because it turns your ball black and you just go for it. Yeah, so as you can see, the action starts super slow. Basically, it lulls you into a full sense of security. But the more collisions your ball makes, the faster it gets, until it's pretty unmanageable. Now, I would like to get my excuses in nice and early. I am using a horrible, cheap, nasty, I think, is it Dell? I can't even remember. HP mouse with my ST at the minute. And yeah, it is rancid. I need to get myself something better. but I'll do my best with it. So there you go. I picked. Was it green, that particular block that I picked up there, which means I can catch the ball and then press the mouse button to fire it off again, which is nice. I'm not going to get that actually. Whoa! That's one of the most annoying things about this game. Those floating enemies are so irritating. I love this pickup. Right, it gives you 3 balls, but as long as you keep 1 in the air, the surviving 1 will split into 3. Fantastic pickup. Yeah, and I think that's a new one for Arkanoid 2. There's loads of new things about this game that they introduced, and I don't know, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall for the brainstorming session for this game, because they just came up with some great additions. So yeah, I think those you see the blocks there with the little notches in, I think those are a new addition too, and basically they keep reappearing, so you don't have to clear those to continue the game. But oh no, I think the black one is a bad one actually. If you pick that one up, I think it makes your spaceship smaller, which is not good. Yeah, I was saying the floating enemies in this game are so irritating. So irritating. You can't get rid of them either. If you destroy them, they just respawn again at the top of the screen. Which I suppose they probably came up with those as a bit of an idea to kind of break up the monotony of the game. Because you can well imagine you end up with some screens where it's just bing, bonk, bing, bonk. Was that a Simpsons joke? I think Simpsons might have done that joke. Yeah, where the bat and the ball's just bouncing around the screen and nothing's going on. Oh, this is one of my favourite pickups. I like this one. You get a little ghostly trail, and every time your ball hits it, you get a cool sound effect. It also makes the bat really ridiculously big, which is excellent. Oh no, I don't want to get that. I thought I was going to be forced to get that in order to save my ball, but no. Alright, this is a bit more of a straightforward level. You see those gold bricks in the middle there, they're indestructible. Obviously you don't need to get rid of those. What's that? I'm not sure. Oh, too busy focusing on the pickup and I missed the thing. Should we have one more go? Let's see if we can get a bit further. Come on then, let's... Can I just type my name in? I can. Wonderful. Fantastic early ST music and sound effects in this game. Alright, here we go. Should we read the plot this time? Is it going to tell us? No. It was obviously just after the boot up. Now there is a cheat for this game. This is a cracked version that has a trainer on it for infinite lives, which is always the way that I used to play it back in the day, because, you know, I couldn't get anywhere with it at all. I was a mouse noob. I didn't have the kind of patience to take things slowly when I was a kid. So yeah, it was an absolute nightmare, this game was for me. I liked it, don't get me wrong. I just wasn't very good at it. Now there's a few interesting little additions to the gameplay that I haven't talked about yet. One of the things that's really good about this, and I don't think it's on the original Breakout, is where the ball hits your bat is significant. It kind of dictates the angle that the ball bounces off at. Now if it lands on my ghostly part of my ship, it doesn't affect the angle at all, but depending on where you hit it on your ship is where the ball goes. So if you hit it in the middle, it just reflects back normally, but you can influence it by hitting it on the left or right side like I did there. If you hit it on the right, it bounces off to the right. So you can get precision control, and obviously with the mouse it works really well. So if you were really good at this game, you could just keep... Oh, that's a cool one. With that pickup, it doesn't keep respawning the balls like it does with the other one. So you have to try and keep as many as you can up in the air. Oh, I didn't want to get that. The lasers are too handy. Anyway, yeah, so I got the sticky one there, which didn't help me at all. Alright, I'm not doing as well this time, am I? I mean, imagine, there are like hundreds of levels in this game, and I didn't even get past the second one before, and it doesn't look like I'll get past the first this time. It's a seriously challenging game. But it's one of those games where, yeah, it's challenging, but the controls are so spot on that, you know, it's your fault. You can't blame anyone but yourself when things go wrong. With the slight exception of the randomness that the enemies bring into it. But then, you know, if you're really good at controlling the game, you don't release the enemies until later on. Oh look, a new pickup, double bat. You have to be careful. I mean, it's a huge surface area, which is really good, but you have to be careful it doesn't sneak down the inside. Yeah, as I was saying, the only real random thing about this game is when it bounces off those enemies. I'm really bad at keeping multiple balls in the air, aren't I? And now they're going. That ball is going so quickly. Have you noticed how I've completely refrained from making any balls jokes during this whole video? I hope you appreciate the amount of restraint that's taking. Oh, that was terrible. Oh. Anyway, there you go. That's Arkanoid 2, Revenge of Doe. You get the idea, right? Now, I did find a good chunk of reviews from old magazines online, so let's have a look. First of all, ST Action. They didn't like it very much. What, saying that, they gave it a really low score and then said some really nice things about it, which is ridiculous. They said they gave it 64%, and then they said pixel perfect backdrops, smooth movement, a whole host of new features. But the criticism they give it is that it's slipped into the abyss amongst the myriad of other similar ST titles, which is really harsh. I mean, fair enough, there were a lot of Breakout clones at this kind of time in the ST's life, but this is a really good one, so give it credit where it's due, right? So they said, with the huge pile of Breakout clones available at present, I'm surprised that Imagine considered releasing this. However, it has one thing that the others lack: addictiveness. A polished game. As it mentions how annoying those floating nasties are, yeah. Just as I said. But, yeah, I mean, well, first of all, addictiveness isn't really a positive trait that they, you know, you see the gaming press give games these days. You don't really hear about it anymore. Games being addictive, being a good thing. But there you go, it's all over the press in these days. But I thought that was weird. A really low score, and then they praise it loads, and then say, yeah, it's because there's loads of Breakout clones. But you're not going to buy loads of Breakout clones, are you? As a consumer, you're going to buy the one that's the best. So give this one a high score, give all the others a low score, and then you've helped your consumer find the one Breakout clone that's really good. I don't understand why you would give this a low score for that. Anyway, moving on. Games Machine gave it 85%. They said it was a pleasure to play. The mouse control is very responsive, which I agree with, but then they said it would have been nice to have a joystick option. No, it wouldn't. It would be horrible. There is no way that game would work with a joystick control. You need analog control. If it worked with the dial controllers, that's what we need. Dial controllers in this game would be incredible. For all I know, it works with dial controllers. I don't know. I'll have to have a go. Dig out the old Atari 2600 dial controllers and see what happens. That would be amazing. Let's see. Oh, ST Amiga format. Before they split into their respective ST and Amiga magazines, when they were together, they gave it 80%. And I'm just going to read this bit because I really like the way it's written. It says, the original 1986 Taito coin-op conversion convinced an awful lot of people that Breakout had really broken out for the final time. Yet Arkanoid's appearance on the 8-bits did more than spawn Crack, Impact, Tonic Tiles and more recently Giganoid. It paved the way for video and sonic overhauls on 16-bit conversions that transformed Breakout beyond all recognition. I just thought that was a really nice bit of writing, and yeah, just kind of sums it up really. Whatever the others say about the, marketplace being swamped with games like this, it doesn't really matter. They were moving the genre forward, and that's what it's all about. What else? They say the additions make it a thoroughly compulsive classic, and that's true. I was never really interested in Breakout at all, but Arkanoid's another story. You add those enemies, but especially the power-ups, and it's a whole different game. What does it say? Revenge of Doe cuts code you'll come back to time and time again. I just really like the way that review is written. Anyway, so there you go. There's Revenge of Doe. Let me know what you think of it. And if you played it on any of your systems, what were your conversions like? Were they just as good? Were they missing some of those power-ups? I don't know. Let me know. Or is there a Breakout clone that you prefer? I know that the Spectrum had some particularly good ones. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, leave me a comment down below. It's great to interact with you. It's a real highlight when I get those comments. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care.